Times have changed quite a bit since I graduated from university just over 10 years ago. When I first went to university, I didn't have a cell phone, I didn't have a computer. I actually was quite excited to get an email address, actually. So it's changed quite a bit now that we're delivering mobile content down to smartphones. I didn't even know there was no smartphones 10 years ago when I started. So it's leadership like from Laurier, Rogers, and RIM that is going to take this to the next level. And I'm honored to be part of this solution that Laurier has put together. The smartphone industry is changing, as was mentioned by my counterpart at Rogers. Over the last 4 years, the adoption of students to smartphones has went from 1.2% to close to 15% today. And that number is exponentially growing. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is going to create all sorts of ripple effects into other universities and other programs within Laurier. I want to take a different take or a different look at this. One of the things we look at is what variables do you need in order to have a successful program or pilot in the education space and for mobile learning. The first variable is that you have to pick the right group. You have to pick the right tool and the right group. MBA students are obviously future business people, future financiers, future bankers, future business people that could be working at RIM. Obviously, these are people that are going to be carrying BlackBerries in the future. So it's important to give them a tool that they're going to be using in the future. I think working with the MBA program is obviously the best choice and is a strong fit to get the students more adopted to technology, using it in their daily life, and using it in different ways that they might be able to use in the future. The second piece of the equation when it comes to having successful pilots or programs when it comes to mobile education is that there is a need to have more meat to it than usual. So as much as I would love it, it would be great to see BlackBerries dispersed throughout all the programs within Laurier. But that's just not the case. It has to have some meat to it. It has to have some application standpoint to it. It has to be more than just giving BlackBerries for the sake of BlackBerries. So in working with Laurier and with Rogers, we've combined a lot of different applications out there that give students more power in their hands, gives them access to information, whether it be grades, whether it be course content, which allows them to actually adopt the technology. If you just give BlackBerries out and expect them to use it in a collaboration standpoint, they'll probably do that for the first couple months, and then it'll just become a cool phone. So I think the innovation that Laurier has put together in allowing their students to have access to so much information will push that adoption and make this a successful pilot moving forward. The third component of having a successful wireless strategy is that, and is probably the most important thing, is the partnerships between the vendors and the school. Without that partnership, without everyone having some skin in the game, these pilots, and I've seen a lot of them start up in universities throughout North America, these pilots start off quickly, everybody's happy with the technology, everybody does a lot with the technology, and then after about 90 days, they kind of fizzle out. And that's because there's not as much skin in the game from one of the partners, or there's not measurables to see through what's the end result we want from the program, and then to learn from that program. The big key about this project is, as you can see, putting a BlackBerry in an MBA student's hands, that's an easy one. So one, checked off the list. Number two, having applications on the device. As you can see by the video, and as you'll see later on today, we've got a ton of applications that the students can use, and they're going to be able to adopt the technology and use it throughout the year and not just for that first 90 days. And thirdly, as you can see today, the partnership between Rogers, Laurier, and RIM is a very tight one. We've all got skin in the game. We all have measurables that we want to see come out of the project. And as a result, we're going to be able to evaluate that at the end of the project. So with that, I would like to say thanks for the opportunity to be part of this, and I appreciate you, and I'll be around after if anybody wants to ask me any questions. Thanks.
Thanks so much. I remember the early days with Kristen Beatty, who was the individual working from RIM on the project, and we would call her up, do you think we can do this? And Kristen would always say, sure, we can do that. We'll find a way to do it. So thank you very much, Ellen, for all of your corporation's support. I'd now like to take you on a tour. A tour through our showcases, meet the professors, the students, and the partners, and hear firsthand how this pilot is making a difference. And Jim, I know you have to disappear. He's in the midst of reorganizing Rogers, so I think we should let him go. Thanks very much, Jim. So, is this working? Excellent. And one advisory as we're going around through the various stations here, this is a pilot. I wanted to let you know. That means that we're learning as we implement. You'll see today a ton of examples of how the students are utilizing the technology. You'll see far more in the future, and we'd like to keep you abreast as the project develops. So first, life is on the go, as all of you know, and now we've got education on the go. I'd like to introduce to you Corey Kittle. He's our technical project leader on this project, and the brains totally and completely behind this initiative. Corey, over to you.
So the theme of my showcase is learning on the go, which really is its accessibility. So it's providing our students access to content and resources, which was one of the key priorities at the get-go of this pilot project. So there's a number of ways that we are working on that or achieving that. The first one's obvious. The BlackBerry out of the box, is equipped with the web and a lot of other great applications, an app world on top of that. So that in itself is a powerful tool for a student to be able to carry the web wherever they go and to have answers at their fingertips. So that's an obvious one. The other thing we implemented as part of this pilot project was the BlackBerry Enterprise Server. So that gives our students access to their student email on their BlackBerry, completely synchronized. It gives them access to shared calendars for collaboration purposes, and it gives them access to shared address books. Okay? On top of all that, and I think most importantly, is we've been working with a couple great companies on this project, and I think this is the aspect that makes this pilot fairly unique. The first is Chalk Media, and I am sharing here today from Chalk Media. Chalk Media is actually a research in motion company. And you saw some of the video clips up here, but they have an application called Mobile Chalkboard. And after our showcases here, please come see this product. It's amazing. But what it is a tool that you work within the PowerPoint environment that we're all familiar with. It gives our professors the ability to push content through a technology they already know. But it's more than that. It's more than just pushing out a bunch of PowerPoint slides. The really unique aspect of this tool is it allows our professors to add all this rich multimedia to that content. So they can voice over the notes, they can embed video, they can incorporate polls and surveys, tests and quizzes, and behind that is an amazing reporting mechanism where they can compile all that data. So thank you, John. And we have some great demonstrations happening up here. We have Chad demoing on the big screen some of the unique aspects of this technology. The other company is Desire to Learn, and they're making great strides towards bringing content and features on the go as well. Our MBAs this year are using the Desire to Learn learning management system, and part of this pilot we're utilizing the Desire to Learn to Go application, which gives our students features of the learning management system on their BlackBerry. And we have Bill today here from Desire to Learn to talk about what they're working on. All right? So there's a lot of other great things that we're working on to bring accessibility and to achieve learning on the go. So I encourage you, highly encourage you to come and talk with Sherry, talk with Chad and Bill, and myself after today's presentations.
Thanks very much, Corey. Appreciate it. And I might add that Desire to Learn is another Waterloo offshoot. So thank you very much. And thank you, Corey.